Look up, gaze into the vast blue expanse. What do you see drifting there, so high above? Perhaps soft, white shapes float by. They move with a quiet, gentle grace. These are the clouds, nature's own poetry. They paint the sky with ever-changing forms. Each cloud tells a silent, fleeting story. A story of water, air, and light. The sky is a canvas, immense and always new. Clouds are the brushstrokes, soft and serene. Sometimes they are like fluffy cotton balls. Other times they stretch like thin, wispy veils. Their beauty is a quiet invitation, an invitation to pause, to look, to wonder. Join me as we softly uncover their secrets. The creation of a cloud is a quiet marvel. It is like a delicate recipe from nature. This recipe requires 3 main ingredients. Each one plays a very special part. Without them, the sky would be empty. These ingredients are all around us, often unseen, yet always present. They work together in a silent dance. The first ingredient is water. Not necessarily water as we see it in rivers. It is water in its most subtle form, an invisible gas called water vapor. This vapor rises from oceans, lakes, and rivers, even from the leaves of plants and trees. It mingles with the air, unseen, waiting for the right moment to transform. Let us ponder water, the lifeblood of clouds. It exists all around us in many forms. Oceans vast and deep hold so much water. Lakes shimmer, reflecting the sky above. Rivers flow, carving paths through the land. All this water feels the sun's gentle warmth. This warmth encourages a quiet change, a transformation from liquid to gas. This process is called evaporation. It is the start of water's skyward journey. Imagine the sun shining on a calm lake. Its rays gently warm the water's surface. Tiny invisible particles of water begin to escape. They rise from the surface, light and free. This is water vapor, pure and unseen. It mixes with the air, becoming part of it. Now let us consider the warm air. The sun is the source of this warmth. It bathes the earth in its golden light. The ground absorbs this solar energy. The land and water become gently heated. This heat is then transferred to the air above. The air closest to the surface becomes warmer, and warm air, as we know, likes to rise. It is less dense, more buoyant than cooler air. This upward movement is called convection. This rising warm air is like an invisible elevator. It carries the water vapor along with it, higher and higher into the atmosphere. As the air ascends, it begins to expand, because the air pressure is lower at higher altitudes. This expansion causes the air to cool. Section 5. Invisible anchors, the tiny particles. So, we have water vapor and we have rising, cooling air. But one more crucial element is needed. These are the tiny, almost invisible particles. They float silently in the Earth's atmosphere. We call them condensation nuclei, or sometimes cloud condensation nuclei. Now, these particles are the unsung heroes of cloud formation. They provide a surface for water vapor to gather upon. Without them, water droplets would find it hard to form, even if the air is cool and full of moisture. These particles come from many places. Some are tiny specks of dust from the ground, lifted by the wind into the atmosphere. Others are salt particles from ocean spray. As waves crash, tiny droplets evaporate, leaving microscopic salt crystals in the air. Pollen from trees and flowers can also act as nuclei, even smoke from fires or volcanic ash. These minute specks are surprisingly important. Section 6. The sky's tender weaving, how clouds take shape. Now let us bring all our ingredients together. Water vapor has risen with the warm air. The air has cooled as it ascended high above. Tiny condensation nuclei are drifting patiently. The stage is perfectly set for cloud creation. As the air cools, it can hold less water vapor. It reaches a point called the dew point temperature. This is the temperature at which condensation begins. The water vapor is ready to change its form, from an invisible gas to visible liquid water. The water vapor molecules, now slow and cool, begin to cling to the tiny dust or salt particles. This is the process of condensation. Microscopic water droplets start to form, billions upon billions of them. So small and light they can float in the air. Section 7. Fluffy daydreams and layered veils. Cumulus and stratus. Clouds come in many wonderful shapes and sizes. Each type tells a story about the atmosphere. Let us meet some of the most common ones. First, there are the cumulus clouds. These are the classic, fluffy, cotton-like clouds. They often have flat bases and rounded tops like puffy heaps floating in a blue sky. Cumulus means heap or pile in Latin. They are usually seen on bright sunny days, a sign of fair weather most of the time. Cumulus clouds form when warm air rises strongly. Convection currents push the air upwards, creating these distinct, individual cloud mounds. Their flat bases mark the level where condensation began, the height at which the rising air cooled to its dew point. Sometimes these fluffy clouds are small and scattered. These are called cumulus humilis, or fair weather cumulus. They drift lazily, changing their shapes slowly, inviting us to find familiar objects in their forms, a gentle presence in a sunlit sky. Section 8. Whispers of Ice, the Ethereal Cirrus. Let us lift our gaze even higher, to the upper reaches of the troposphere. Here, where the air is thin and very cold, we find the delicate and wispy cirrus clouds. Cirrus means curl of hair or tuft in Latin, and these clouds truly live up to their name. They appear as thin, feathery streaks or delicate white patches, almost transparent. Often described as looking like mare's tails, they are the highest of the main cloud types. Cirrus clouds are made entirely of ice crystals because they form at such high altitudes. Temperatures there are far below freezing. The water vapor changes directly into tiny ice particles. These ice crystals are blown by strong, high-altitude winds, stretching them out into long, graceful filaments. Sunlight can pass through them easily, sometimes creating beautiful halo effects around the sun or the moon, a sign of their icy, crystalline nature. These high, icy clouds often signal a change in weather. They can be the first harbingers of an approaching warm front, indicating that weather systems are moving in. So while they look gentle and insubstantial, they carry important messages for weather watchers. Their beauty is subtle, almost ethereal. They paint the highest parts of the sky with soft brush strokes of white against the blue. Section 9. The Never-Ending Story. A Cycle of Skyborne Beauty. So, we have journeyed with the clouds from invisible vapor to their many lovely forms. We have seen how water, warm air, and tiny particles come together in a gentle atmospheric dance, creating the cumulus, stratus, and cirrus, and many other variations in between. Each cloud is a fleeting masterpiece, a temporary sculpture in the vast gallery of the sky. They are always changing, always moving, a constant reminder of nature's gentle artistry. But the story of a cloud does not end there. The water held within them eventually returns to Earth. Cloud droplets or ice crystals can grow larger. When they become too heavy to stay suspended, they fall as rain, snow, or hail. This precipitation nourishes the land and oceans, replenishing the sources of water from which new clouds will one day be born. It is a beautiful, continuous cycle, the Great Water Cycle, essential for all life. The water that forms a cloud today may have once been part of a distant ocean or a dewdrop on a blade of grass. And the rain that falls from that cloud will flow into rivers, soak into the ground, or be taken up by plants ready to begin its journey skyward once more. This endless cycle connects everything: the sky, the land, the water, and all living things. Clouds are a visible part of this profound connection. So the next time you look up at the sky, take a moment to appreciate the clouds.